This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and we are at the On booth at the running event in San Antonio, Texas. And I'm here with Chuck, who is going to walk us through the new and revamped On Cloudmonster lineup. Chuck?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited to show kind of the lineup of shoes that you're going to be seeing next March from On. It's our Monster, which is going to be our most energetic, kind of like explosive training lineup, but three really cool versions that are super tailored towards what any runner might need on like their longer, more kind of like strenuous training runs.
Yep, and just as a quick overview, we have the Monster 3, we have the Hyper, and we have the Cloudmonster Hyper LightSpray.
Yep.
So can we just start with the 3 and kind of tell us a little bit about some of the changes from the 2 and now to this model?
Yeah, absolutely. So the most notable difference in the 3 is that we have triple layer cloud tech. So really cool to kind of like launch the third version with this debut of 3 layers of our kind of like traditional, really structured cushioning that you see in a lot of our models. We're really going back to the fit and feel of the 1, where it's going to be very responsive underfoot. So rather than a plate sandwich between 2 layers of foam, you have a top-loaded nylon plate with the triple layer of cloud tech directly underneath that.
And now with that triple layer of cloud tech, can we expect that the shoe is going to have more protection on foot, more cushioning? Is it going to be softer? What can we get from a sensation difference from the 2 to the 3?
Yeah, so I'd say you're going to feel a little bit more compression just because the size and like abundance of clouds underneath your foot. But I'd say from the 1 to the 3, very, very similar, just with kind of like slight tweaks in the upper and the fit and feel of the overall shoe.
For anyone who wanted to run in the Cloudmonster 3 but maybe hasn't figured out the use case of it just yet, would you use it for long runs? Is it for daily training miles? What would you use it for?
Yeah, so I would say this would be for your everyday or longer runs,
okay.
But really for those folks that are going to pick it up like at some point during those longer efforts. So fartleks, tempo runs is really where this shines, where you're putting a little more energy into the shoe to feel that responsiveness and bounciness that comes from the technology.
Cool, and speaking of picking up the pace in these shoes, we have the Cloudmonster Hyper. Can you talk a little bit about this shoe?
Yeah, I'll trade you here. So I have my prop. So Cloudmonster 3 Hyper is going to be in the same family, obviously. So energy is the name of the game here. But main difference, which you're going to see, which is glaringly obvious from the 1 to the 3, is a full length of PIBA that sits directly under the midsole. So this is our Helion Hyperfoam, which is our super critical foam. You're going to have a very lightweight, like lino weave upper, but still with our cloud tech elements underneath that really cradle this layer of super foam as you kind of compress into the shoe.
Got it. And I remember running in the first model of this shoe and loving the forefoot sensation because of that PIBA foam that you have there. And something that I really wished was, I wish we can get more of it, and I wish it can go through the entirety of the shoe, and that's exactly what you've done here with this one.
Yep.
So I'm really excited to test that one out and see how exciting it is, because I mean, I don't know. I felt like I really enjoyed the first one so much. I was like, how could they make it better? And now you've done exactly that, which I really appreciate.
Yep.
Is this one also for long run days? Would you recommend this for workout days, tempo runs? Like, what would you kind of put this one on for?
Yeah, so I'd say like this is just going to ramp up the performance and really like the premium feel and underfoot protection from the Monster to the Hyper. So I think like the original tag for this was fresh legs, fast legs, where you're just fresher, longer because of the higher quality foam and the lightness of the shoe. To where you're really getting done with those longer efforts, recovering and feeling ready to rock the next day because of how much protection you have underneath your foot.
Let's talk a little bit about that upper. What's kind of going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that we kind of tested and tried with our outdoor shoes first last summer with the Cloud Ultra series. And this is called a lino weave upper. So very like high abrasion resistant yarns that really lock in the foot very very well, but we can add in a ton of ventilation and breathability to create this really structured kind of like premium finish on the upper here.
Does testing usually start on the trail side and then come into the road side? How does that usually work?
Yeah, so it's tough to say like 100% of the time, like hard and fast rules, but I think our product team does a great job of like sharing what's working like across the aisle per se, to really take the best of what everybody's found and make sure we bring the best like product to market.
And this is like traditional upper, traditional lacing system that we know and a lot of people recognize, but some people might not necessarily recognize this shoe at all because it's a new shoe, but the upper as well is like kind of the biggest giveaway. But the midsoles look pretty similar between these two shoes. Can you talk a little bit about these two shoes? What are some of the key differences? What are the similarities between them?
Absolutely. Yeah, so you'd say like these are twins, but maybe not necessarily like identical twins. So LightSpray upper here on the LightSpray Cloudmonster 3. That's always a mouthful. But what we really do here is take the midsole that's almost completely the same, so same benefits, same end use case, but we make it lighter and you make the lockdown as dialed in as possible with our LightSpray technology.
Got it, understood. And what about like putting your foot in the shoe and taking it on and off? Like kind of what's that experience like in the LightSpray?
Absolutely, yeah. So anybody who's tried the LightSpray on our Cloudboom Strike, it's very, very snug because it is your race day option and you're gonna put as much kind of force into that as possible. Being a training option, we lowered the collar just a little bit, so the ease and access of putting this on and taking it off is much, much easier than the Pinnacle race day options.
So same use cases, same underfoot feeling, just two different uppers. And if you wanted a particular upper with the LightSpray, so you wanted like a bit of a lighter feel, maybe even a bit of a faster feel because it's lighter, or maybe if you wanted something more traditional and you like the standard lacing system, then you can go with something like this.
Absolutely, yeah. So more traditional here, but folks that try this, they really, I think, kind of a light bulb goes off of the benefits of this kind of like second skin upper. It's basically like putting on a second sock, and it feels like an extension of your leg almost. So rather than having an upper with laces and a sock liner, your foot's sitting directly on the foam, held down by the LightSpray, which is incredibly light, breathable, and really hugs the foot well. So yeah, jumps up in that, again, performance category of a family of shoes, but you've got each rung up based on how performance oriented people want to go.
Cool, and my last question is, for someone who hasn't tried LightSpray in the past, and maybe they want to get into trying LightSpray and they want to do it, but they're not quite sure whether it's for them, what would you say to those folks? Yeah,
I would say it's, especially in a training shoe, like this is becoming much more universal for anybody and everybody who wants to try using a super trainer, or if you've used other super trainers but want to take it to the next level. That's why we have LightSpray here. So it's not just for race day, but for every week and every use case.
Great. Well, if you want to check out any of these shoes, you can check them out right here on our YouTube channel, where we're going to be doing in-depth reviews, or online at fleetfeet.com. Thanks so much, Chuck.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.